today in our writing class, we're going to kind of intertwine that with our science topic for the day. We're going to be writing along with science today in class. We're going to be using the Dogo News app again, like we've used before. As you guys are reading, I want you can either go to Current Events tab, or we can go to the Science tab. And you guys are going to look through and look at the titles of articles, and then you can click on different articles that you find interesting and things you'd like to learn about. And to begin the day, I'm going to give you guys about 15 to 20 minutes to go through these articles and read. And on the back of the graphic organizer, I just have written here a list of things that you'd like to know more about. So what you're going to be doing as you scroll through these articles, briefly read through them, and click on ones that you find interesting, something that's going to interest you to write about and learn more about, because I want this to be something exciting for you guys and something fun to learn about. And then we are going to write informative papers of teaching how these articles write, the newspaper articles write for us to learn. Then we'll be doing more research to write as well. So I want you guys to find things interesting to you. Scroll through on the Science or the Current Event tab. Look at articles that you would like to do, and then on the back of your paper you're going to jot down, just take general notes of the titles of articles of ones that you find interesting. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have you guys get your iPads out, open up the Dogo News app, and go through on Current Events or the Science tab, and we'll come back together in about 15 to 20 minutes once some people have some articles listed of things they find interesting to them. So I'm going to give you guys time to go through and read some articles. It's looking like everybody has a few articles, or at least a couple articles written on the back. Now what we're going to do is we're going to flip our paper over and look at the graphic organizer that's going to help get our ideas today so that we can then form our informative writing into a written piece to help inform readers of what we're writing about and the topic that sounds interesting to us. So, again, to start, we always make sure we put our name at the top with capital first letter and a capital first letter in our first and our last name.
Why do you have to do
So let's go ahead and do that. And while you guys are doing that, I'm going to just briefly talk about the graphic organizer, how at the top, in the top section, what we're going to be choosing is something that we want to write or something that we want to know more about. So leading up to this, we're going to also be writing about it too. So it's something that we're going to be writing about, but something we want to know more about, because after going through these articles and seeing some of the different topics, we're going to pick something that seems interesting to us and something that we are excited about researching to help us be excited about our writing and something that we think other readers would find interesting. So in the top here, we're going to pick the one thing I'd like to know more about. So on the articles that you have chosen on the back, we're going to pick the thing that you want to know more about. So everyone look at the back thing and pick the title that you want to know more about. If it is more of the current news or the science topic, and which topic it is. If it's a couple of the ones on there I know were the rocket lab with the helicopters, the birds, the astronomers, Veterans Day. So you guys pick the topic. We can all be doing the different topics. We're picking our topic that we find the most interesting for us to help inform our writing. So, Jaylee, what topic are you choosing?
I'm doing ISS. That means ISS means International Space Station.
Okay. So you're choosing to write about the International Space Station. Okay. And about the astronauts? Okay.
I can eat cookies in space because they're inventing this machine that can go in space. They can eat cookies.
Oh, okay. Very interesting.
And they could always bring it around to them. So when they're out, we just exploring.
So did you read quite a bit of that article?
Yeah.
Were you able to get some information? Okay. So continuing with this, so that's good. You have the international. You can leave that article open now because you'll be using that article. But what we're going to be doing first, if the article closes right now, that is just fine. Because what we're doing first is the left-hand side of our graphic organizer. So on that side, it says what I think I might learn. So we're going to write down some things of what you think you might learn. Either we can use this article to help inform our writing, but we will also be looking at possibly one more article using the web on our iPads to help us learn some more information about that topic as well. You don't have to have the whole title down there if you can't get it to all fit, because we have it on the back of it. ISS astronauts. Yep. So what we're going to do on this side over here is we're going to write what I think I might learn. So exploring that topic, here I have here thinking about what you might learn. These are just some sentence starters to help get you thinking of some things you might learn about, or maybe some questions you might have about this topic that we can then look up later to help our writing. So things that I wonder why. So for your topic possibly, I wonder why
they have to wear the suits.
Why they have to wear the suits. Okay, very good. Why does, what is, so like you talked about earlier, you said what is ISS. So that could even be one of the things that you write there of something that you might learn, because you learned that from that article. You were able to learn that because in the title of the article, it just had ISS there, and you said, what is that? So you were interested in that, and then you learned that from the article. So you could write that, what is ISS? And then on the other side, we'll be able to put what it is, because you learned that from the article. Who is, if it talks about anybody you're wondering about, and how does. So these are not things you have to use. They're just ideas to help you get started.
That is the one that I was really wondering. How do they make the things, like when they don't have electricity?
So how do they make the cookies in space? Is that what you're wondering?
Because they don't have electricity.
Okay.
Or any fire.
Very good. So make sure you write that down. I'm going to give you guys some time to write those questions down, so then we know what we need to look up either in our article that we'll open back up, or we will discover through looking up on the internet. So I'm going to give you some time to write those questions down right here. Oh, on this side. Make sure we're on the left side. This is where we're writing things we're wondering about, something that we want to learn. And then on the right-hand side, we'll then put what we have learned, and help get our information gathered for our informative writing piece that we will be doing. So I'm going to give you guys some time to think about those ideas that you want to learn more about and things that we can learn from the article when reading it. It looks like we all have our questions formulated, and we have an idea of things that we're wondering about and what's interesting to us about this article. We're going to dig into the article to see if we can find the information. If we have to look farther than the article, let me know, and we will go through and find another article or look up online another informative piece that will help us in our writing. And paying attention to, as we're finding our writing, how this article is written, how they're giving us that information, because that's the type of essay that we're going to be writing, is an informative writing piece. So what kind of words they use and how they give us information. So following that article of that, and we're going to see what we can write down of things that we've learned from the article from inquiring about these questions. So go through. Yes.
What's the source?
So the source, it says the source where you found the information.
So like,
we're going to write the website that we use. So right now you can just write dogonews.com. If you'd like to, you can put that on there, because we are for sure going to use some information from that. But if we have to look up another article, then we will go ahead and put that web address down there as well, just so that we know where we got the information and how to come back to it. Because when we're writing informative pieces, people want to know that we have the information from somewhere and not just making up information. Correct. So let's go through and see. Your first thing you have here is, what is the ISS? And you said we found that earlier, so you could write that. It says down here somewhere. International Space Station. Here, international. Oh. And having these notes set out will help us with writing.
International.
Very good. As you go through that article, we will just continue to fill out our information there and get all the notes we need, so then we can later go through and write a piece of something that sounds interesting to us and help us learn more about that article and give us a good topic to write about. Does this seem like a fun way to find information and get something to write about in a fun way? So we can look through different newspapers or different online articles in the same way to help us spark ideas in our writing and find things that we would feel engaged to write about. So today we're going to finish up our notes, and then we will work on creating our informative piece another day on this writing and what more information we can find from other articles. So today we'll finish up with getting our information that we need to help inform our writing piece that we will be working on.